Hey guys, it's Marla at Twinstrology. Welcome back. This is a special edition of the State of the Union game. If you don't know what the State of the Union game is, it's just a little game I like to play a few times a year. I draw on 6 piles of cards and you pick a number 1 through 6 and wait for your message. If you'd like to see the cards, please go to my Facebook page, which is Twinstrology. And you can see an actual photograph of the card before you play this video and listen to the messages. I do recommend that you like my Facebook page because I tend to write articles and things in between these videos, and then you'll get the most up-to-date information from me. Okay, so and I also want to mention that if you would like a personal reading, my website is twinstrology.com, and I do personal astrology and tarot readings. Okay, so the deck I'm going to be using primarily is called The Lover's Path Tarot by Chris Walder. This is my favorite deck. I use it all the time, and I like it because it features couples from mythology on it. And of course, we use mythology a lot in astrology as well. So and when I do this game, I usually choose the cards that have a representation of couples on them, and that's like the primary means of the message. Although one card I have today that I was told to use does not technically have a couple on it. And I've also backed it up with a Romance Angels card and a Power of Love card. These are by Doreen Virtue, and this is from James Van Praagh. Okay, so if you chose cards number 1, and by the way, a lot of people choose more than one, that's fine, but I think in order to get the clearest message, you want to choose as few as possible, but it's totally up to you. The card number 1 is Temptation. This card features Paolo and Francesca from Dante's Inferno. Okay, this is really the Devil's card in the traditional tarot. And in Dante's Inferno, Paolo and Francesca are seen in one of the realms of hell, and they're being punished because they had an affair in life, an adulterous affair. And yet, even in death, they're still together. But to me, what this card is representing for those that chose number 1 is there's still something in your life that's blocking you from having the love that you want. You know, in the case of Paolo and Francesca, they had a karmic relationship blocking them from their love. And of course, it was not, you didn't get divorced in those days. So for some of you, there could be a karmic relationship that's still standing in the way of your union. Okay, you need to take a look at that. What I really feel about this card, what it's representing, especially based off the other cards that came out with this, is that there's still some thought patterns that are holding you back from having the love that you want. You know, remember the lovers are chained. In the Devil card, we see the couple from the Lovers, you know, number 6 in the tarot. But now in number 15, that same couple is now chained to the Devil. And this is representing their fears, okay? And often we want to project whatever's blocking us, we want to project it out to someone else. But in truth, it's always something within us that's blocking us. It's really our own feelings, our own belief systems, our own emotions. So I feel like this card is asking you to look inward. And even though Venus is direct, she's still in her shadow. And right now she's still aspecting Saturn and Chiron. And Mercury is retrograde as well. And Jupiter is retrograde too. So there's still a lot of inward focus to get to the bottom of why you feel like you can't move forward in some respect in your life. The romance angels gave us the card Unrequited Love. And to me, the message with this card is not that your love is not requited by your twin, but it's more that you feel like that love is unrequited. And that might be one of the belief systems that's holding you back. Obviously, if you feel like your twin is not loving you back, it's going to cause a lot of pain, anger, frustration. And so I think a lot of the energy right now with this Venus retrograde was getting rid of that idea, finding the love within yourself, finding the energy of your union within yourself. Stop seeking validation from your twin, basically, and get that validation within yourself. Or in some other way, I feel like you're giving your power away somewhere. Like the karmic relationship. Are you feeling like your karmic relationship is stopping you from union? Because only you can change that. And then the Power of Love card was ownership. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. So I feel like this card is coming up because this is kind of like guidance for you. You've reached a pivotal place in your journey. You're able to take responsibility for all your actions, thoughts, and words in this and other lifetimes. You may now step back and view the experiences objectively, realizing that you are an evolving spiritual being. Each day has brought a new insight into you and the world around you. You don't look back on particular situations as failures. You view them as feedback, providing information you need in order to learn, understand, and grow. Take ownership of your choices. Being aware that as a responsible being, you cannot blame your behavior on another. Everything you experience is a reflection of what is within you. Recognizing that what you say can either enlighten or depress, you now speak with a purpose. Choose positive and empowering words, thoughts, and deeds, the cornerstone of a healthy and soulful relationship. So that card is saying that it's your choice. Nothing's holding you back but you. Card number 2, or cards number 2, I should say, is Awakening, Cupid and Psyche. Okay, so this is a very positive card. The scene that we see on this card is when Psyche has overcome her challenges or obstacles and she is reunited with Cupid. She's proved herself. And Cupid returns to her. So, of course we have the obvious thing here is that you're awakening, your twin is awakening. There's some truth. Like you're beginning to see more and more truth in your life and your everyday actions. This is also really creative energy. This card is the sun. It has to do with children and playing and Leo energy. And Leo is creativity. So I feel like this is a big time in your life for creating things. And that's something that I've been talking about a lot in my readings. that it's a time of creation and manifestation. So I feel like for many of you, this is a message that something tangible is coming forward for you. And it's, it's awakening to love. The cards that go with this one from the Romance Angels, very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So another great confirmation that something is manifesting and it's going to come into your reality very soon. The other one is cause and effect. You are aware that the love you create in your thoughts is an agent of change and the foundation of your results. And indeed, the awakening card is about positivity. It's about letting go of the negative things in your life and seeing the light, the love, the beauty in everything. Also, a card about healing. So for the cause and effect, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's the law of physics in this physical dimension. There's also a universal law of cause and effect. The circumstances you are living in at this exact moment are a direct result of all the thoughts that you have created. Thoughts are real. They are made up of energy, color, and density, designed and propelled by your intentions. The universe, in turn, will perfectly respond to the thought energy you have created. If you desire a life full of love, happiness, and abundance, you must be mindful of your thoughts, because you are the director of your destiny. Think of yourself as a magnet, attracting what you send out. It's imperative that your thoughts be of a high vibration, because the energy of judgment and condemnation will find its way back to you. What you sow, you will reap. So make it a daily practice to monitor your thoughts. Let love be your guide. So, of course, if you want to manifest the most positive things, you want to stay in a positive state. And I feel like that also brings things to you sooner. The third card, if you chose pile number 3, that card is oppression. This is Dido and Aeneas on this deck. And we see here Dido, who is in love with Aeneas. And Aeneas is leaving. And he's leaving her and he's going off. He's sailing away on that ship. And this card represents the Tower. So it represents needing to let down your walls. When we're living in the Tower, that's like having walls up around us, and love can't get through. Our heart can't fully be expressive if we have those walls up. And so often we have a hard time bringing them down. And this card comes up when the universe is going to bring you circumstances in your life that almost forces you to bring them down. And when that happens, we feel very vulnerable. And you can see that's how Dido's feeling. We feel abandoned. We feel frightened. We don't know what the future is. And the energy of this Venus retrograde has been the breaking apart of our walls and our foundation in many respects. We need to have that broken down so that we can move forward. And the energy of I wrote a post yesterday about we're in this kind of gap between the old energy and the new energy, or our old life and our new life. And it's like all the walls, all our foundation, everything is just being broken up right now. The old is being destroyed so that we can move forward. And I feel like for those of you that chose number 3, this is where you're at. Um, you have to let go of the past. But for many of you, there's a challenge. Like you're not 100% comfortable with letting go of the past. Or I'm also seeing like you're not 100% comfortable with feeling and seeing your wounds. But in the long run, this is going to be very helpful to you. And that is being shown by the 2 cards that go with this. The first one is engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So again, you need that old to be destroyed so that you can go up to the next level. There's good, positive things that want to come into your life now. So just let go of the old. The universe is telling you you don't need this anymore, because when this card comes up, this is usually some kind of circumstance, some kind of fate, or some kind of unexpected change. It's Uranian energy. But it's best to just let it go, because the universe is not going to take anything away from you that you need. It only takes away things that you don't need anymore. The Power of Love card is harmony. You're able to feel a loving, balanced connection with everything. When you sit in stillness, satisfied that your soul is on the right path and that everything is right in your world, even for a moment, it's a true gift. It's a true gift, one you've created for yourself. Feeling balanced and harmonious on this earth plane is very difficult, and when it happens, your spirit soars. Yet it takes work on your part. But that's what you signed up for when you agreed to incarnate here. Creating order in this tumultuous physical dimension is like walking a tightrope. Your constant awareness is on keeping your balance while dealing with the obstacles in your path. The good news is that the more you practice, the easier it becomes. If something within your being is out of balance, it will come to the surface of your awareness to give you the opportunity to explore it further and understand it more deeply. Realize that some things that might upset your equilibrium originate from outside you and are beyond your control, but you do have control over the inner self. Always remember to approach life with an attitude of love, compassion, and empathy. When you're at peace with yourself, it's easier to be at peace with everything else. So be at peace with yourself, and these other circumstances in your life are not going to throw you off. Card number 4 is Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, and this has Danae and Jupiter on the card, or Zeus. Okay, similar to the Oppression card, this card is also dealing with fate and the actions of the universe, but while the Oppression card we see more of like in a negative fashion because something is being taken away, generally the Wheel of Fortune we see as something positive. Like the universe is bringing you something. This card is also about change, though. Change that is really out of your control. Like I said, it's fate. Things are happening around you that they can't be stopped. And the myth that we have here, Danae was locked in a tower by her father because it was prophesied that she would have a son that would murder him. So she was locked away, and her father's thought was, well, if no suitors can get to her, how can she have any children? But Zeus fell in love with her. Of course, Zeus was the king of the gods, and he turned himself into a shower of gold and came through the roof and impregnated her, and she did have a child, and that child did kill her father. So what's meant to happen is going to happen. You can't stop it. You just roll with the changes of it. And we see Zeus here in his etheric form, which always tells me that there's a strong etheric or spiritual connection with you and your twin right now. But with the Wheel of Fortune, we also have to let go in the fact that whatever's going on in your life, you can't control it, and you just have to let go and roll with the changes. From the Romance Angels, we have the card, Give Your Relationship a Chance. And the message I always get with this card is that the angels are telling you to be more patient, that, they are trying to bring that to you. Good things are coming into your life. Just have to be more patient and not to give up. It says work on your relationship. The Power of Love card here is peacefulness. You recognize that balance, kindness, and love bring calmness to your soul. It's a sad irony of life that humans can only appreciate the quality of a peaceful existence by experiencing moments of comparative turmoil and conflict. Just as you most value health after an illness, so do you feel most grateful for peace once you have encountered strife. But discord is something that you can learn to avoid. Lucky is the soul who learns this lesson quickly. Confrontation and conflict are not the energy of spirit. Most people in our world are reactors, especially when they are recipients of negativity. They align more with an eye for an eye with turn the other cheek. Unfortunately, they don't realize that that is the worst possible response they could mount. A punitive reaction instantly forces the brain into survival mode, and hormones and chemicals of self-preservation are released in the body, which attempts to rid itself of the foreign invaders who broke through the calm of the normal environment. This intensity takes a toll on the mind and body, eventually bringing about a state of dis-ease. This is why it's imperative that you make it a vital part of your daily routine to return to a state of peaceful bliss and harmony as often as possible. Entering this zone of awareness automatically quiets and resets your brain. If this card often appears in your spreads, it would be wise to stick to a meditative schedule daily. Well, I think that what this card is saying to you is that there is change coming into your life, and likely rapid change, and do your best to stay peaceful throughout it. Don't let yourself get disturbed by the change. Like I said before, just go with it. Know that it's fate and it's in your highest good. Card number 5 is Justice, Odysseus, and Penelope. Okay, so in this myth, Odysseus went off to fight the Trojan War, and then he got shipwrecked. He was gone for 20 or 30 years from his wife, Penelope, and the whole time he was struggling to get back to her. And on her end, people were pressuring her to get married again, and she refused. She waited for Odysseus. She never lost faith in his return. So despite a very long separation, they were reunited. They never lost faith. They never lost their love for each other. So one of the messages here is to persevere, to not lose faith in your union, to follow the signs and synchronicities. But I feel this card also has to do with karma. This is about balance. Like the other card we had earlier, cause and effect. Every action that you take has a reaction. And the message that's coming through very clearly with the other cards as well is that there's something that needs to be forgiven. I feel it's a karmic situation in your life that needs to be forgiven and let go of. And that's how we balance our karma, by forgiving. So the Romance Angels card was forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Maybe you need to forgive your twin for a very long absence or long separation. See that there's lessons for you there. And I'm feeling for a lot of you, it's like you need to forgive yourself. Let go of whatever guilt, anger, I'm feeling like some of you might be hiding or avoiding your twin as well, or have in the past. And you need to forgive yourself with it, for that, and just move forward now. It's a big time of healing. If you do number 5, I feel this is a big time of healing for you, especially around karmic energy. And everyone is dealing with healing karma right now, but this is saying that, you know, I feel like there's something big that you guys have just healed. And this card is forgiveness as well. See what I mean when I can't draw these cards as perfectly as Spirit draws them for me. You are now able to activate the power of love in order to release hurts from the past. You know, as Venus stations direct, she's stationing on Chiron, and they're in square to Saturn. And this energy is all about being able to access our other dimensional realities and heal those things. Heal those, some would call past life situations. So this card's message: forgiveness is the cornerstone of love. To be fully aligned with the power of love requires complete forgiveness of self and others. You may find this hard to accomplish because you are letting your ego be in the driver's seat. When you can't forgive, it is the ego holding on to past hurts and the feeling of not being in control. Forgiveness will remove old blockages and causes of emotional distress, allowing love energy to work through you. By forgiving, you're not excusing or condoning a particular behavior. Instead, you're willing to understand the lesson being presented. You are not necessarily obliged to reconcile. You can forgive and choose not to involve yourself with that person or situation again. The saying "forgive and forget" is a misnomer, for you should never forget a lesson. Bless the experience, but always remember what you learned from it. When you forgive, you open yourself up to the positive and loving experiences that the universe wants to bestow upon you. Now there's room for them in the space formerly taken up by babysitting those horrible and toxic feelings. Yeah, when you forgive, you can let go of the old and make way for new things that are wanting to come into your life. Okay, and our last one's card number 6, kind of an appropriate placement for it, is the Triumph card, Dionysus and Ariadne. This is the last card of the major arcana, and it represents a completion of a cycle. So somewhere in your life, and I would say in your union, that for most of you, you've accomplished some section of your mission or purpose, and now you're able to move on to the next thing. You can see just by the image on the card, there's a lot of love there between you and your partner. It's like a magnetism with the energy of this card. And in mythology, Ariadne was another heroine who was abandoned. And if I get my story right, I believe she sat on a wall and cried, looking out to sea every day. I could be wrong, guys, so this is one story I'm not 100% familiar with. And Dionysus finds his way there and sees her. So she's heartbroken over her lover leaving. But Dionysus comes there and falls in love with her. And of course, he's a god. And she falls in love with him. She's able to let go of the past to that old love and move on into something new. So where, for you guys, during this Venus retrograde, what have you let go of that now you're ready to bring some new energy in? And so you're beginning to work on something new now. You've completed one phase, you're going on to another. So this could be that you're going to hear from your twin soon if you've been in separation. Or you might take your union to another level. Or, for a lot of you, I'm just getting that you've done some healing during this Venus retrograde. You've healed some things from the past. You've gone over some past relationships that were still causing you some pain. And you're able to let that go and move forward now. You've created the space to bring your union or to bring deeper love into your life. The card from the Romance Angels is pay attention to the red flags. And the way I usually read this card is not in a bad way, which the way it's written, it sounds kind of bad. But for me, it's telling you to pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that you're seeing around you. You're being directed through the signs to where you need to go. And then the Power of Love card is vision. No matter what, you see the bigger picture of loving. Let me read that again. No matter what, you see the bigger picture of a loving, just universe. Now that your blinders are coming off, you're able to see the world and beyond the physical through your spiritual vision. You are embracing the sacred mission, which is the reason you agreed to participate in this dimension. You can envision a universe so vast, beautiful, and spectacular that miracles are part of your everyday experience. Your higher intellect has been stimulated, and you can recognize the higher essence of other souls and know their lessons. You're able to grasp the difficult lessons of grief, loss, and sorrow, seeing them as experiences from which to grow. Spiritual guides, angels, and master teachers are drawn to you, whether you are aware of their presence or not. You have agreed on a soul level to be a conduit of deep spiritual truth, which you can easily manifest into the physical. You have a strong intuitive sense of what you need to do on a large scale to bring your vision to the masses. This may be through the creative arts, such as writing, singing, painting, or speaking, or as a spiritual practitioner. As you embrace and live out your vision, you remind others how to dance to the tune of divinity and the oneness of being. Very nice card. And so I feel like with that message, that for some of you, this card is a sign that you've moved on to a new level in your spiritual journey. embodying more of your higher self or your Christ consciousness. And the signs, this card, the signs are showing you that you're in the universal flow. And this card is called Triumph, so it's like success. You've reached some level of success. Pat yourselves on the back. All right, so I hope that whatever you picked, your message resonated with you. Thank you so much for playing. Again, if you'd like a personal reading with me, you can visit my website, which is twinstrology.com. I'm Marla Kelly. Thank you so much, and I will speak to you soon.